Understanding how to multiply binomials by using the FOIL method is a useful skill for taking the math portion of the ACT college entrance exam. I'll show you how to handle any situation on the ACT with this method. Now let's go to the classroom for this review. Okay, let's talk about how to multiply binomials by using the common FOIL method. What is a binomial? So we got to know what that is first. Basically, a binomial means two terms. So you're going to multiply something with two terms times something with two terms. FOIL. What does FOIL mean? FOIL means just, it's a way to remember how to multiply the binomials. So you're going to multiply the first, then you're going to multiply the outer, inner, and last. So let me show you a couple binomials being multiplied. X plus 3 times x plus 2. And I'll show you what I mean by first. You're going to multiply the first in each set of parentheses. So x times x, that's going to be x squared. Then you're going to multiply the outer. That means the outside here and here. So it looks like this. So x times 2, that's 2x. Then you're going to take now the inners. That's going to be these two guys. 3 times x is 3x, positive. And then the last, that means the last term in each parenthesis. So you're going to take the 3 times a 2 and giving you positive 6. Now you're not done. You see like terms. You got a 3x and 2x. So you're going to get x squared plus 5x plus 6. Let me kind of just show you basically what is FOIL forcing you to do. It's kind of like double distribution. You're going to take this x times both terms in the second set of parentheses. Then you're going to take the other term in the first set of parentheses and distribute it also to the second set of parentheses. FOIL is just to help you to remember, keep things organized, and make sure you don't miss any terms. Let's try it again. X minus 4 and x minus 5. We're going to multiply the first. That's x times x. That's x squared. Then we're going to take x times negative 5. That's negative 5x. Now we're ready to take the negative 4 and distribute it. Negative 4 times x, negative 4x. And then last, negative 4 times negative 5. Positive 20. You'll notice that when you do this, the like terms are always going to be next to each other, which is a good thing. X squared minus negative 5x minus 4x, that's negative 9x. And plus 20, and then you're done. Let's try a tougher situation. 3x minus 2 times 4x plus 5. Now you have numbers in front of your x's. You just got to watch, make sure you're multiplying the numbers. You're going to take 3x times 4x. That's 12x squared. Then you're going to take the 3x times the 5. 3x times 5, that's 15x. Now you're going to take the negative 2 and distribute it to both. Negative 2 times 4x, that's negative 8x. And then finally, negative 2 times positive 5, and that's negative 10. Like terms are in the middle again. So you get 12x squared, 15x minus 8x, that's 7x, positive, and then minus 10. Okay, now let's talk about some special situations. You can see a binomial like x plus 6 times one that looks just like it, but opposite in sign. These guys are called conjugates. These are binomials that look the same, but one's a plus, one's a minus. That should make you think, oh, there's something special about that. And there is. If you were to FOIL this out, and let's do that. X times x is x squared. X times negative 6, that's negative 6x. 6 times x, positive 6x. And then positive 6 times negative 6, that's negative 36. And you'll notice when you combine the like terms in the middle, they cancel. Negative 6x plus 6x is 0. So you get a final answer of x squared minus 36. Now that's important to remember because look at all the other ones we've done. They ended up with 3 terms. You only ended up with 2 terms. Does that happen every time you take and multiply a binomial times its conjugate? Yes. Every time you multiply conjugates, you're going to get just 2 terms. And what else do you notice? You notice there's a minus between them. Will that happen every time? Yes. This number at the very end, it'll be one of those perfect squares that we talked about earlier in another lesson. This is commonly called a difference of 2 squares. You have 2 terms, and they're both squared. You can look at them like x squared, and 36 can be written as 6 squared. And that's going to be useful when we talk about how to factor a difference of 2 squares in the factoring section. Now let's talk about one more situation. 2x minus 3, quantity squared. I can't tell you how many times I see people mess this up, and I know ACT are going to try and throw this at you, so be careful and watch out. What students like to do, they like to think, oh, that lesson on powers, you just take this power and you distribute to each one of those. And if you do that, you're going to do it wrong. That is not legal. Like a lot of students like to call it. Is that legal mathematically? It's not. Let me show you what would happen if you did that. You get 2x squared minus 3 squared. What does that give us? That gives us 4x squared minus 9. I'm going to tell you that this is wrong, but I'm going to show you why. What does it mean to have 2x minus 3 quantity squared? That means 2x minus 3 times itself. So let me write that out. Now it's a FOIL situation again. So let's FOIL. 2x times 2x, 4x squared. 2x times negative 3, that's negative 6x. Negative 3 times 2x, that's another negative 6x. And then negative 3 times negative 3, which is a positive 9. Combine the terms in the middle. Those don't cancel. You're going to get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. That's not the same answer as if you distributed that power. So watch out for it. So what actually happens? If you want to do it, and some teachers will show you how to do this quickly. You're going to take the first number and just square it. That's going to give you this guy. If you did square the last number, that would give you the positive 9. But you are going to end up with a middle term. How can you do that in your head? Well, here's how it's done. Take the 2x times the negative 3. That's negative 6. Oh, that's what we got here. But you notice there's 2 of them. Double that answer. You get the middle term every time. So that's a quick method when you have this special situation. And if you don't remember that, just write it out twice. FOIL, you can't go wrong.